Hey everyone, in this episode we're going to look at the comparison MakeCode block in Minecraft Education. Okay, so in this one we're going to learn how to use the new MakeCode comparison block, and essentially what we're going to do in our scenario to learn this is that we want our player to pass through this section here, so more specifically this point. And when the game senses that or knows that it happens, it's going to teleport them over there to that platform. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to open up MakeCode, right? So either pressing C on your keyboard, or you'll have like the little agent icon if you're on an iPad in the top middle of your screen. So the very first thing we're going to need is our event handler, and in this case we're going to keep it nice and simple. We're just going to use the onPlayer walk. So just going to walk through the coordinate that we're looking for. And to make all of this happen, we have to apply the condition. So it's conditional. So we're going to use the basic if-then statement. And that's because the code just doesn't happen for no reason. It's because the player has to pass through that coordinate in order for it to run. So that is what makes it true, is when the player passes through that coordinate. So we have to build out this true statement. And to do that, if we go to position, this is the new block here that we're looking for. So I'm going to pop it in here. And what it's doing is it's looking at two coordinates and trying to compare the two together. Now, what we have to do is think about what are the two things we need to compare. One is where the player is, and two, where we want them to be in order for the rest of the code to run. So the first one is the player. So if we go to player, we scroll down, we've got this option here that says player world position. I popped this here in the first one. So it's saying when the player walks, if the player's world position, so where the player is equal to 0, 0, 0, then we can run our code. The thing is, we need to work out what that world position is. So if we jump out of the game, I've already got my coordinates turned on, but if yours aren't, remember, just go to settings and then scroll down until you find show coordinates. And I'm going to stand exactly where I want the player to pass through. So around about here. So those coordinates there, always helpful to have pen and paper, is 531, 32 minus 11. So we go in here and we type in 531, 32 minus 11. And so that is what we're looking to compare, is where the player is and where we want them to be. Then we want to teleport them. We want to push them over to the other platform. So the teleport option sits in player as well. So I can grab that out and pop that in. Now we have to say where we want to teleport them to, and this piece of coding automatically defaults to using the tilde sign, which is relative to where the player is. So at the moment it wouldn't teleport the player anywhere, because it would just, this isn't like 0, 0, 0, the coordinate position in the world. That's 0, 0, 0 where the player is. So if we put like in the Y, we put 10, it would shoot them 10 blocks up in the air from where the player was currently standing. So we can kind of have a look, but we need to work out where we want them to go. So you actually can see it running a little bit there. It kind of throws me back to where it thinks I want to go. But I actually want the player to go here on this block. So from there to there. Now if we look at those coordinates, they're now 5, 2, 4, 32 minus 11. The 32 is the same, the minus 11 is the same, but the 5, 2, 4 is different. So that's the only one that changed. So on our x-axis, that's the only one that changed, and it's changed by 7, but it's gone down by 7, so it's changed by -7. So if we jump back into our coding and we go -7, just like that there, and we can test this out, it should move the player relative to where they were -7 blocks. So there we go. just like that. The other option is to put the exact world position. So you just say exactly where you want them to go in the world. So the key here is that the only coordinate that's changed from the original is 5, 2, 4. So if we jump in here and go position, world, override that, we can then write 5, 2, 4, 32 minus 11. Now, either way of doing this is absolutely fine. You'll get the same result. They're both, in my eyes, equally correct as each other. But if we jump down, we walk through, there we go, it will execute that piece of code. Now, keep in mind, there's so much more that you can do than just this. You can change your event handler. You can change those world positions. You may not teleport. You could have lots of different things that change. This is particularly good when you're designing a game and you want things to change. So you may want they may go to the next level and you want it to go from daytime to, I don't know, nighttime. Okay, and maybe you'll want it to change the weather from it was clear and now it's getting harder, so let's make it thunder. Okay, you might want to let the player know they're going to the next level, so we use something like the show title or subtitle message. And so I might come in here and write something like level 2. Whoops, there we go, level 2. And so this time when I run it, it won't just teleport me, but it will also change a whole heap of other gaming scenarios. So when I pass through, there we go. So it's going to tell me that I'm at level 2. It's now nighttime and it has started raining. So that is the new comparison. If you're following along in the training world, essentially this is just your chance to have another go at trying to make it over to that side. But I hope you enjoy that one,